What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brian and I are going to have a great show for you this Tuesday. Get you ready for the betting week. Brian, what's up, buddy? How we doing?
Doing good, Alan. What's happening, brother?
Man, chilling, buddy, chilling. This is one of the best sports days of the year, dude. I love it, man. You know what? We're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into it. Everybody, welcome in A to Z Sports Picks. I'm Alan Bell, CBS Sportsline, alongside Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks brought to you every Tuesday and Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. If you use promo code A to Z Sports when you download that BetMGM app right now, you'll get a risk-free bet of up to $1,000. $1,000. I've done it, used it. The credits come in your account ASAP, quickly, no hassle, no problem whatsoever. So download that BetMGM app. Use promo code A to Z Sports. That's BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. All right, Brian, let's jump right into it. We have so much to get to that we can't waste a single second. All right, our local look ahead. And let me get this on the board here so everybody can see what we are referencing here. All right, should be able to see it. James Lill in the chat, my guys. Hey, what's up, James? You represent every single time we show, man. Really do, really appreciate you. All right, so we've got, James, drop him in the chat, buddy. We'll get to him. All right, so we've got our local look ahead here. All right, we'll start here in the NFL. We got the Chiefs at the Titans. Chiefs 4.5. A total of 56.5.
Up to 5.5 now, Alan.
Say it again.
Up to 5.5 now.
5.5, yeah. Man, that's crazy how much that line has moved since we sent that initial email. All right, so 5.5 Chiefs, total 56.5. Brian, I'll start with you, man. What do you think?
Well, obviously it's a short week and an emotional win for Tennessee, but I wrote down Kansas City minus 1.5. I mean, they got a couple of back-to-back wins, but they are still 2-4 against the spread this year. Or they have 2 out of their last 3 wins. My apologies. They lost to Buffalo the week before. But they got the wins at last 2 road games. They've won and covered. But they're traveling for a second time east again. I mean, my lean is to the Titans now. I don't know. Did they get out injury-free last night, or at least no aggravation? They did not get out injury-free.
Well, we don't know about Taylor Lewan. He's in concussion protocol, so we don't know about that. The secondary, it got hit hard, very, very hard. So, no, the Titans did not. To answer your question with that.
Right. But Julio and AJ are good, right?
AJ's good. He had the flu from Chipotle, which was funny. Julio ended up leaving the game. Do not know the status on him as of right now, yeah.
Okay. Well, I would still lean Titans plus 5.5. I mean, even without Luan for most of the game, the O-line looked good. Derrick Henry in the running game was terrific. And, I still lean Titans plus 5.5 at home.
Yeah, this one's really tough. Vrabel and the Titans, with their backs are against the wall and they're underdogs, dude, they're lethal. Like, it's just over and over. And not only cover the spread, they end up winning outright. But do they do it 2 weeks in a row? Now, this Chiefs team isn't that great. The offense could play, obviously, but the Titans, Titans offense can have their way with the Chiefs defense too. Look, I'm going to go with the over 56.5 because I don't really want to touch the spread. Don't really want anything to do with it. I'm going to go the over 56.5. I think that's a number that we can get to. Not going to say easily, but if the game kind of works out how we think it will, I'm riding that over 56.5 all day. All right. Second game, Tennessee at Alabama. Alabama's a 24.5 point favorite. Homecoming down in Tuscaloosa, a total of 67. Brian, what are your thoughts here?
Well, it's all about
no throwing golf balls or mustard either.
Wait, say that again.
I said no throwing golf balls or mustard either.
Right. Well, to me, it's all about can Hendon Hooker and Tion Evans play. If they can't, the Vols are in serious trouble. But if they are, I know he said day to day. Heupel said day to day with Hooker yesterday. That didn't look like day to day when he was coming off the field.
No, it didn't look like day to day at all. I agree. Yeah.
It looked like maybe season ending, but hopefully that's not the case, or at least it would seem what Heupel said yesterday that that's not the case. But I'll still be surprised if he plays this week. And if it's Joe Milton, man, and it's 24.5. Look, I mean, Tennessee's playing good ball, but I think Hendon Hooker has been the catalyst to them playing that good ball. And without him, and what was Milton doing that last play? I mean, what have some awareness, brother. And even once you cross the line of scrimmage, you messed up then, but at least look the lateral, you run out of bounds. Oh, man.
There's literally the worst thing that he could do two different ways.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's Alabama or pass, and I'll probably be looking to get involved with Alabama first half, assuming Hooker – if Hooker's out. If Hooker and Evans are out, and Cade Mays, and I know he said day-to-day on all three of them yesterday, but it's Bama or pass first quarter, first half, and game in my mind.
Yeah, I'm with you. And when we find out, the status on Hendon Hooker, if he's out, that number is going to jump. So if you like Alabama –
get it now.
Yeah, there's nothing on Tennessee's side that's going to drop this number. So if you like Alabama, do it now. Yeah, I agree. It's either Alabama or the over.
I just don't know about Tennessee scoring much if Milton's playing.
I know. That's the problem. I can't make a decision on it right now. So I hate to be the guy that says don't know, but on this one, literally, Hendon Hooker in or out is going to make a massive difference. So I don't want to steer anybody in the wrong direction. So it's just a hold for me until we get to Friday. All right, last one, Mississippi State minus 21 at Vanderbilt, total of 51. I'll tell you, I'll go ahead and go first. Vanderbilt, if Ken Seals is out, their quarterback, I'm going Mississippi State all day. Again, and not that the Bulldogs are some massive, offensive explosion, but yep, that's it. That's where I'm going. Yeah. What about you?
So I saw that Clark Lee announced that Mike Wright is going to get his second straight start. Now, I don't know if that meant Seals is definitively out or if he's just questionable still or what, but if it's going to be Wright, I'm still not comfortable laying that many points with Mississippi State on the road. So it's a pass at this point for me.
Yeah, I feel you on that too. That's a lot of points. It really is. Wild how many injuries, that we need to monitor, throughout the week. All right, let's get down to business here. Number 2, best bets of the SEC. All right, so let me change the banner here. And I'll go through and read these because we got a lot of teams on buys. So LSU at Ole Miss 9.5-point favorite. We just talked about Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, talked about Tennessee at Alabama, South Carolina at Texas A&M, and it's 21-point favorite, and then Arkansas, Pine Bluff at Arkansas, no line on that game. So there are two that I'm looking at right now. The first one being Tennessee, Alabama over 67. Again, all depends on the injury status for Hendon Hooker. I love Ole Miss minus 9.5. Look, now I know that I played Florida. I was heavy on Florida. Did not know that everyone on the LSU team knew that Ed Orgeron was going to be gone, and this was his swan song. They ain't doing it twice. Ole Miss is at home. They're honoring Eli Manning. They painted the end zones Manning to say that. And the reason isn't Eli Manning. It's Arch Manning who's going to be in the house recruiting. And I guarantee you, after everything that Lane Kiffin went through in Tennessee, he's been joking about it all week, rightfully so. The man's earned it. But he is going to put on a show. So give me Ole Miss minus 9.5. What do you got?
I agree. I like Ole Miss. I made the number 12.5. And, it's going to be a packed house looking to impress Arch. And, look, they got a hell of a team this year. They survived a game effort on the road from the Vols. And they're the superior team here. And anything 10 or fewer, I like Ole Miss. As for South Carolina and A&M, I made A&M a 22.5-point favorite. I think they're going to go with Zeb Nolan ahead of Luke Doty, who's kind of banged up, and Nolan led that game-winning drive against Vandy. Look, it's A&M or pass. I don't know that I'll lay that many points, but I'm not interested in South Carolina. And then that covers it, right? Because no line on Arkansas.
It's a light SEC schedule. It's a light college football schedule. There's not a lot of great games. I don't think we have a single game of a ranked team versus a ranked team. Wow. What is game days at what? Oregon at UCLA? Like I'm that goes. Sure. Yeah. It goes to show you. Yeah, it is not a good week. Yeah, what do you got?
Have you seen a early Florida Georgia line. I reached out to a couple of people today, and I don't know anybody that has.
No, not recent.
Yet.
I saw it. I haven't seen anything recently. So yeah, that's next week, right?
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, next Saturday, Halloween weekend.
Yeah, yeah, that one's gonna be fascinating, man. All right, now jumping to the NFL. Let me change this up so you can see this here. NFL Week 7. Now I'm not gonna read through all these. Everybody, you can read them. They're at the bottom of the screen. But this is all right. So first off, NFL Week 6, what we just finished with, was a fantastic week. There were a ton of great games. Started great. The Bucks and the Eagles finished great last night. That was one of the best Monday Night Football games I've ever seen. It was a good one. NFL Week 7, look at these lines. We have favorites of what? 15.5, 17, 13.5. There are some big, big spreads out there. But there are 4 games that I like here. All right, first one, Ravens -6 at home against the Bengals. Bengals are a good team. But I think that the Ravens, their offense is pretty much hitting their peak. I know their left tackle Stanley was placed, on IR today, but I like where this Ravens team is, both in terms of their offense and where they are mentally. And the Bengals are a somewhat similar game plan style to what they just faced in terms of the Los Angeles Chargers. You don't have to necessarily change too terribly much. So I like the Ravens here. Titans Chiefs over 56.5. I like that play. Third one, the Colts +3.5 on the road against the San Francisco 49ers. Look, the Colts are playing good football right now. Carson Wentz is healthy. Yeah, and not that I believe in the Colts long term, but I believe in them to cover this spread with the hook right now. And San Francisco's all right. Like, there's nothing that's really standing out in terms of what they're doing. So I think that the Colts go out there making a pretty sloppy game. And what I like about betting on the Colts, especially right now, is that not only does their offense run pretty slow and methodical in terms of they don't mind taking time off the clock while scoring touchdowns, their defense could play pretty good too. And they're going to force you to kind of do the same. So yeah, I like the 3.5 in this one. They might not win the game, but I'll take them with the 3 in the hook. And then the last one, the Broncos +3.5. Look, I bet the Broncos last week, they absolutely just fired out an egg against the Raiders at home. But I like Teddy and this team on the road. I'll ride it twice because they do need a win here. We get them on Thursday night, a short week for the Browns. The Browns just got trounced by the Arizona Cardinals, and they have, I believe when I looked today, the Browns have 20 or 21 players on the injury report. It's unbelievable. And on a short week, yeah, if you give me the Broncos +3, 3.5, I like that number. So, yeah, what do you got, buddy?
I'm looking at the Pats -7. I like how Mac Jones is playing. The Jets have had an open date, but I suspect the Jets will play some games at home tough like they did the Titans as the year goes on. I just don't really see them putting up too much resistance in road games the rest of the year, especially when they're playing. Well, I'm not saying the Patriots are elite, but they're a decent team. They got a quarterback who's playing pretty good. We know they got a great coach. So, I mean, the Pats have lost heartbreakers to 2 of the best teams in football, Tampa Bay and obviously Dallas the other day. That was another heck of a game we had this weekend. Yeah. But so that one's standing out to me, like in the Pats, and I doubt it'll be at 7. Well, it's still 7 across. I'll probably go ahead and get that today because I could see that number going north. As I said, I haven't looked at the Pats injury report coming out of the other day, but I like how Mac Jones is playing. And then after that, I don't want to mess with the Colts, but I don't know that that's enough points for me either. But I think it's Colts or pass on that one. Some of these big favorites, I won't eat that chalk for the game, but if they are -7 or fewer in the first quarter, like if the Rams or the Bucks are -7 or fewer in the first quarter, I might be looking at those. The Bengals-Ravens game, that's going to be a very interesting game to me. Bengals on the road, a second straight week. Do they, are they really legit this year? This is kind of their prove-it game. They've gotten some wins over some soft opponents like Detroit and the Jagoffs, and so that's a show me game for the Bengals. I don't know. I love me some Joey Burrow. We'll see where I am on that on Friday. I hate laying road chalk with my Falcons, but I kind of lean to Atlanta, and like the Dolphins had to go to London and they don't get a week off, which the Falcons and Jets got the week off coming back. So I might be on the Falcons. I'll get back to you on that Friday. What's going on with the Washington football team's defense, man?
What's going on with that franchise?
Right. I mean, what in the world? That defense was so nasty last year, especially late in the season. And
they can't get any pressure, man. Like, it was all built on the D-line pressure. They can't get it.
Yeah.
They can't get it. Their guys are on an island, dude. Like, it's a disaster. Everything about Washington is a disaster, complete disaster. All right. Now, moving on from the NFL, let's jump in here, too. We got Major League Baseball today. We got 2 games. All right. We got the NLCS 4:00 game. We got the Braves at Dodgers. Dodgers are money line minus 170 favorite, total of 7.5. And then tonight we've got the Astros at the Red Sox. Red Sox money line favorite of minus 125 and a total of 10. So I'll tell you this, Brian. I'm on the Dodgers tonight. It's a lot of juice. I'm going to eat it. I think the Braves are going out there. They're looking to just get a win when they can. The Dodgers are literally do or die right now. They got Walker Buehler on the mound. Give me the Dodgers. I'll eat the juice tonight. The Braves, I think, are going to win this series, but I'll take the Dodgers tonight to get it done at home. And then you look at the Astros, Red Sox. Look, I was wondering when they would move the total to 10 or above, because it's been sitting at, the last couple of games, 8.5, 9. And the Red Sox are just mashing. They're just mashing. They're mashing grand slams. They're just hitting bombs. I think that the Astros are going to have to, they're obviously in a do or die, type of environment as well. So I like the Red Sox here on the money line. I also like the over of 10. Any thoughts that you have on either of these games, Brian?
I do not, but I have a question. The Dodgers were down to the Braves. Was it 3-1 last year and came back? Or was
I
it
believe so.
Okay. And Braves are up 2-0.
Yep.
And they got Morton going tonight, right?
Must
win for the Dodgers, though. I think the Dodgers probably get that one. The Astros, Red Sox, they played last night, right?
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I was watching Monday Night
Red Sox, they hit 2 grand slams. Like, this team is just incredible. They're just mashing everything, man. Like,
so Astros are up 2-1.
No, Red Sox.
Oh, Red Sox are mashing grand slams.
Yeah, Red Sox. Yep.
My nephew's a huge Astros fan, so I get to make fun of him. What was the final score?
What was it? 13
a lot to a little.
The Red Sox are just hitting everything, man. Like, this team is just incredible, dude. So I mean, it's a play to keep riding them, because nothing says to stop. But if you don't want to do it, ride that over 10, because I mean, they're going to get runs, and if the Astros are going to win this game, they're going to have to get runs, and it's going to take more than one to do it. So yeah, I think those are 2 good plays. All right, now moving from Major League Baseball, dude, the NBA season starts tonight. This is one of the best sports days, man. We've got 2 games tonight. All right, we've got the Nets at the Bucks. Bucks are 1-point favorite. The last I saw, the total had dropped from 236.5 to 234, somewhere around there.
Let me pull that up,
I believe. And we've got the Warriors at the Lakers. Lakers 3.5 point favorite, and a total of 226. I know there's been some movement over the last hour or so. So if you see anything, Brian, that's changed since our emails here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. Look, I'm taking the under in both of these games. I absolutely am. You got a ring ceremony in Milwaukee. I think that not only are both of these teams, I hate playing unders, but I think beginning of the season is the time to do it. I know the Nets started last season. They only hit 15 of their first 35 games to the over. And I think the Bucks, you see a defensive game out of them tonight, just with a ring ceremony, a little bit of energy, a little bit of emotion out there. So I'm going to ride the under in that one. I'm also going to ride the under in the Warriors at Lakers. We talked about it before, and I know you got some notes on it. The Lakers are legitimately, old man River out here. There's all kinds of players that are on the injury report, and so I'm going under on both games, man. What do you got?
Okay, so like Alan was saying, these lines, especially on the total, have moved. It's down to 226 for Golden State and the Lakers, and for Brooklyn, Milwaukee, It's down to anywhere in the 233 to 234 range. Our good friends at BetMGM have it at 233 and a half. So the Warriors have already announced their starting lineup for tonight. And obviously Klay Thompson's not quite back, but apparently going to be back really soon. They're going with Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney. And Wiggins and Draymond are supposedly going to be on a minutes restriction tonight. So there is that. And for the Bucks, Bobby Portis is out. So is Dante the Great DiVincenzo. I call him the Great because I was going to win my high rollers pool, and I had a 60-1 ticket on Michigan in the national title game that year. And Dante the Great destroyed all my dreams of collecting about 10 grand.
Yep, Villanova does that.
Yeah. So I call him Dante the Great. So him and Portis are out tonight, and obviously Kyrie is out, and Millsap is out, the new veteran free agent signee for Brooklyn.
You're going to get into that out of a lot of games. Where you have teams tomorrow as well. Like they're going to be minutes restrictions. You're going to see a lot of reserves get into games. Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, you're fine. Just a baby play on Milwaukee. I see a couple of books have it at 1.5. A few books still at 2. So if I get Milwaukee minus 1.5, that'll be my play.
Yep, I like it. All right, final segment here. How to build this weekend's perfect parlay. Look, there are a lot of big spreads, as we saw, a lot of big money line prices. But these are the teams that I have so far. All right, and it is 5 NFL teams, 3 college football teams. Okay, if you ran all 8 of them, it's only plus 279. But I say only. I mean, it's not bad. So all right, here we go. Ravens, Patriots, Cardinals, Rams, Bucks. All right. Ravens, Patriots, Cardinals, Rams, Bucks. College teams, Michigan, Penn State, Ball State. It's my 8, buddy. What do you got?
All right. Looking at the college ranks, I like Ohio State at Indiana. I like Penn State, although I certainly won't be laying those points because Sean Clifford is out. I like Virginia. These are all money line. They're -7 at home to Georgia Tech. Wow, that's a big number for Louisville.
Yeah.
I like Minnesota. I'll go ahead and say that's going to be one of my plays, laying the points. But in a money line parlay, Minnesota at home to Maryland. Maryland's another one of their starting receivers is now out for the season, along with their stud that they lost several weeks ago. Cincinnati on the road to Navy. Now, those are big spreads that won't help a parlay a ton. Let's see as I get down further. I'll go Cal against Colorado at home. And I think that's Alabama at home and Texas A&M at home. Boom.
There you go. I like it. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of big prices out there. So the parlay is going to look a little longer, but it is what it is. You're going to get it now. So a couple notes here in the chat before we wrap the show up today. Zach Goodman says, Braves under is 2-0 this series of the Dodgers. Take the under until it proves us wrong. Go Braves. Completely agree, dude. Absolutely agree. There is an absolute massive difference between the NLCS and the ALCS. Absolutely. The NLCS, they are tight games. The ALCS, it is just mashing all over the board. So, yeah, I agree with Zach Goodman there completely. All right, James Little has a couple questions here. Pitt, excuse me, Pitt versus Clemson. Pitt's favored by 3.5. Air Force -4 versus San Diego State. And I thought I saw another one. Yeah, here we go. TCU -5.5 versus West Virginia. Any thoughts on any of those, Brian, just kind of off the top of your head?
Yeah, so Pittsburgh quarterback Kenny Pickett is having a fantastic season, 21-1 TDI and T ratio, and also has 3 rushing touchdowns. Pittsburgh is the first ACC team to be favored against Clemson since 2016, when Clemson was +2 at home that night game, and Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson going at it. That was still Deshaun Watson in 16, right? Yeah, I think. Almost, yeah, for sure. And it's the first time they've been a dog of more than 3 points to an ACC team since 2014. But Pitt is 5-1, both straight up and against the spread. They're rolling. They went into Blacksburg, where UNC lost outright, and they dealt one to them 28-7 last week. So Pitt is rolling, and Clemson somehow got another one possession victory that they easily could have lost at Syracuse. They do have an extra day of rest and prep because that was Friday night. And the other, we asked about TCU. West Virginia had the open date, but man, they looked so bad their last game. I would think it'll be TCU or pass, although their defense looked awful the other night. But I think Caleb Williams is going to make a lot of defenses look bad. What was the other game? Air Force San Diego State.
Yep.
Those points look pretty good to me with San Diego State and that defense, but Air Force is rolling as well. More thoughts on that on Friday. And I was going to throw one thing out in case people missed it. Ben Simmons had a little hissy fit at practice today and has been suspended for the opener tomorrow night, in case anybody was wondering.
He did have a hissy. He wants out.
And Rolovich is out at Washington State. 4 of his assistants are also out. Obviously, the state mandate requiring the vaccine, they did not get it, so they are fired. And I think that Rolovich.
Are they off this week?
No, they actually host BYU as like a 4-point underdog. And Washington State is on a nice little roll. They've won 3 in a row, had a comeback win over Stanford the other night. But so 3 of the 4 assistants that were fired were offensive coaches. Rolovich is a run and shoot guy. Nobody runs the run and shoot these days. I don't know where June Jones and Mouse Davis are, but if they're not coming in to help, I mean, you got hardly any coaches left to coach this offense the rest of the season. Weird situation there.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. I'm glad you brought that up. That's going to be a wild game. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Seriously, we really do appreciate it. Make sure, let's keep the conversation going. Let us know what teams that you're betting on, what teams you're looking at, what teams that you want to pull the trigger, but you just haven't quite done it yet. Same thing that we were talking about with ours. And thank you so much to A to Z Sports. Thank you so much to BetMGM as well. We'll be back with you Friday, 2 p.m. Central. All of our picks locked in. Until then, let's have some fun tonight, man. Got a great sports day. Let's make some money. All right. Thank you so much.
Good luck, everybody.